Fire. It warms us, delights us, and sometimes terrifies us. One thing's for sure, it would be hard to imagine life without fire. It proved an invaluable technological advance in the development of the human civilization. But when and where did we start to use it? Let's find at what point in our revolution humans learned to control fire and make it at will. About 3 million years ago, the savanna expanded in East Africa due to the climate becoming cooler and drier. As a result, the environment became drier and natural fires occurred more frequently. At first, like other animals, hominids would run from it. But later they discovered they could interact with fire safely and actually benefit from it. Back then, burned-out landscapes had great foraging payoffs for them. They learned that charred carcasses of animals and baked plants to be found after a forest fire tasted better than raw meat and roots they were used to. From 1.5 million years ago onward, early humans did not have fire-making skills, but rather collected burning branches set alight by lightning strikes and other natural causes. After its discovery, fire came to be used in a wide variety of ways by early hominids. First of all, they began to recognize its benefits like warmth, light, and protection from predators. Moreover, fire broadened the range of edible foods and prompted new ways of hunting. Hunters with torches used fire to drive animals into traps. 780,000 years ago, early humans had no idea how to start a fire. Rather, they would have learned to control it. In Israel, researchers found burned seeds, wood and flint in clusters suggesting hearths. An important turning point in the use of fire occurred around the Eastern Mediterranean 350,000 years ago. A study of flint tools recovered from Israel's Talboon cave suggests that our ancestors began using fire regularly at about that time. Findings from Israel's Kesem cave show a similar pattern. Here, archaeologists found the oldest known hearth, which had been used repeatedly over time. A hearth full of ash and charred bone indicates that early humans sat around fires as early as 300,000 years ago. At this stage, fire began to be used to modify the mechanical properties of materials. Among some interesting archaeological evidence of this period, spears of fire-hardened wood are worth noting. The practice of heating a pointed spear tip in fire was a way of making it sharper and harder. Hominids living in Kesem cave managed to purposefully heat their flint to varying temperatures in order to enhance their tools' capabilities. 200,000 years ago, humans still collected and maintained fire, but had not yet learned to make it themselves. However, they discovered new uses. For example, a range of methods emerged for containing fire, including building a hearth or another enclosure for it, such as a circle of stones. Excavations in Italy have revealed prehistoric digging sticks made with fire and the oldest known adhesives ever recovered, whose production is impossible without fire. Around 70,000 years ago, the southern African coast may have been the site of a technological revolution in stone tool making. Ancient masters living here used fire to turn fine-grained local rock into stone tools. The next major technological leap occurred around 50,000 years ago, when humans learned to make a fire. Research shows that groups of Neanderthals in Europe used their flint hand axes and pyrite to strike sparks. Archaeologists also found extensive evidence that Neanderthals were using powdered manganese dioxide to make a fire. Yet another technological breakthrough occurred about 7,000 years ago, when humans began to use fire for agricultural purposes. For example, early farmers in eastern China resorted to clearing areas for the first rice paddy fields with the help of fire. Through their use of fire, people selectively altered their environment and the conditions of their own evolution. What we're realizing now, however, is that it was not the result of a single accident or stroke of genius, rather it was a process that likely unfolded over hundreds of thousands of years. Thanks for watching. See you next time.